right, one of our lessons today is converting the forms of circles. And in order to convert between some of those forms of circles, we have to remind ourselves on how to complete the square. So to complete the square, I'm going to show you the quick algebra way, the algebraic way to do it. I'm going to rewrite my equation here. I'm going to put in 2 blanks. Okay. In this first blank, we put b divided by 2 squared. And if you had me for Algebra 1, I used algebra tiles to explain how this works. But if you're curious, you can ask and I'll go through a lesson with you. But in this gap, we need to do b divided by 2 squared. Well, remember that this is your a value, your b value, and your c value in a quadratic equation. So what we're looking to do is we're taking half of 18, which is 9, and we're squaring it. So negative 9 squared is a positive 81. And we have to follow algebraic rules. The zero product property tells us that we have to, if we add something to one side, we have to add it to the other. Now, part of the completing the square process is we're looking to change the form of our quadratic equation. So looking at this section here, this new quadratic that I wrote, this is called a perfect square trinomial. A perfect square trinomial has 3 terms, trinomial, and it's a perfect square because p squared and 81 are perfect. So I'm going to factor it. It's going to factor to p minus 9 squared. I get the same thing. Negative 9 times negative 9 is 81. Negative 9 plus negative 9 is a negative 18. We're going to keep the minus 9, and that equals 81. Now, notice the directions say to solve. So to solve, I'm going to have p minus 9 squared, and I'm going to add the 19 to the other side to get 100. So at this step, we've completed the square, but we haven't solved yet. So to solve, we're going to use the square root feature, that square root method. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to square root both sides. I can square root both sides because I have something squared totally by itself. So when I square root it, that's going to give me p minus 9 is equal to a positive and negative 10. The squared goes away, and I know the square root of 100 is perfect. So after that, I have to solve. So that's going to give me p equals 9 plus 10 and p equals 9 minus 10 because I have 2 options here. And so this is going to equal 19, and this will equal negative 1. As we convert for circles, we won't have to solve. We'll really just need to get to this form, the completing the square form. So that's the solving answers. I'm going to complete the square for the rest of them. So again, I'm going to rewrite this as n squared minus 4n minus 32. So again, in this gap, I'm going to put b divided by 2 squared. So half of a negative 4 is a negative 2. Negative 2 squared is a positive 4. And what you add to one side, you have to do to the other. We'll consider how to factor this quadratic. So that's going to be n minus 2 squared minus 32 is equal to 4. So this is going to be n minus 2 squared is equal to 36. And that's the completing the square part. That's the part that's going to be important for converting with circles. So if you feel like you need more practice, this answer key will be loaded up onto the block.